Jesus is risen. The members of the Sanhedrin convinced the Roman government and many Jewish people that Jesus was not the Son of God, and he needed to be crucified. Jesus knew his crucifixion was part of God's plan for him to save the world from their sins, so he did not fight back. He was arrested, questioned, beaten, spit upon, and then hung on a cross until he was dead. Just after he died, the ground began to shake, graves burst open, dead people lived again, and the veil in the temple ripped from top to bottom. Everyone knew something incredible had just taken place, but the people were confused. Those who believed Jesus was the Son of God were sad and didn't understand why he had died. Those who did not believe were angry at Jesus, happy that he was dead, and a little unsettled at all that had taken place. No one really knew what was going on at all. Joseph of Arimathea had requested Jesus' body so he could give him a proper burial. Joseph had to hurry because it was almost time for the Sabbath to begin, and he was not allowed to work on the Sabbath. Preparing the dead would have been considered work and could have gotten him in a lot of trouble. He hurried and wrapped Jesus' body in linen cloths and placed it in a tomb. Then he rolled a large stone in front of the opening. The members of the Sanhedrin requested that the governor place guards near the tomb to be sure that no one stole Jesus' body. Several women had been with Jesus at the cross. They, like Joseph of Arimathea, also wanted to be sure to give Jesus a proper burial, so they watched from far off to see where Joseph had taken his body. They were going to return after the Sabbath to clean his body and pour oils and perfumes on him the way that most bodies were prepared for burial. As soon as the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Salome, who married a man named Zebedee, and a lady named Joanna gathered spices, oils, and headed to the tomb where Jesus had been placed. Just before they arrived at the tomb, there was a great earthquake. An angel of God came down from heaven, rolled away the stone, and then sat upon it. The guards trembled in fear and then passed out on the ground. As the ladies walked closer, they could see a man dressed in white sitting on the stone. They did not know he was an angel, but he was so bright they had to look away. They were very frightened. The angel told them not to be afraid. The angel knew why they were there. He asked them why they were looking for someone who was alive in a place for a person who was dead. Jesus was no longer there. He had risen. He told them to go find the disciples and tell them that Jesus had risen from the dead. The ladies turned and headed back to Galilee to get the disciples. When the Roman guards came to, they rushed to tell the members of the Sanhedrin what had happened. The Sanhedrin didn't want anyone to know these things, so they gave the guards a lot of money and told them to tell everyone who asked that the disciples stole Jesus' body while they were asleep. The guards agreed to keep their secret, and even though it was a lie. The ladies turned and headed back to Galilee to get the disciples. Along the way, the ladies met Jesus on the road. Jesus was alive, and he was right there with them. They were so excited, and they fell to his feet to worship him. Jesus told them to go into Galilee and tell the disciples he would see them soon there. The ladies left to find the disciples. When Mary found the disciples, they were all hiding, scared of what might happen to them. They were afraid of what the Sanhedrin might try to do to them. They didn't know what to do. Mary told them that Jesus was alive, and she had been with him and talked to him. The disciples did not believe her. They did not believe what she was telling them. Peter and John jumped up and ran as fast as they could to the tomb where Jesus had been buried. John was the first one to arrive at the tomb, but he did not go in. Then Peter arrived and ran right inside. Peter could see the cloths that had been wrapped around Jesus' body. They were still in the shape of a man's body, but Jesus was gone. Peter ran back out of the tomb, wondering what had happened. When John saw the cloths, he knew Jesus had risen, just as he said he would. Peter and John rushed back to tell the other disciples what they had found.
Okay, guys, it's time for our first letter of the day. Today's letter is the letter A. A is a vowel, so it makes two sounds. It says A as in angel and A as in apple. It makes two sounds. This is our capital A and this is our lowercase a. We're going to practice writing them today. For our capital A, we're going to start on the ground and go up to the fence. And go up to the sky, all the way to the sky. And then we're going to go down to the ground. And then we're going to cross over on the fence. And that's our capital A. Now to make your lowercase a, we're going to make a circle under the fence. Touch the fence, touch the ground, and make a circle. And then we're going to make a stick that goes from the fence to the ground. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to come over here and we're going to practice our capital A's. We're going to start at the ground and slant up to the sky, down to the ground, and then we're going to go across at the fence. Let's do another one. Start on the ground and go up to the sky, down to the ground, and across on the fence. Okay, now let's do our lowercase a's. Remember, we're making a circle under the fence, touch the ground, and then a stick from the fence to the ground. Let's do another one. A circle under the fence, and then a stick from the fence to the ground. Okay, our extra practice word today is going to be the word angel. Mary saw an angel sitting on the rock by the tomb. So we are going to write angel. Angel is going to start with a lowercase a. So it's a circle and a stick. The next letter is the lowercase letter N. It is going to be a stick from the fence to the ground. And then we're going to come almost back to the fence and we're going to make a hump. Back to the ground. Okay, our next letter is the lowercase letter G. We're going to make a circle just like we did for the lowercase a, and then we're going to put a tail on it. We're going to come up here to the fence and we're going to go down like we did for the A, but we're going to keep going under the ground and make a tail. The next letter is the lowercase letter E. For this one, we're going to have to imagine our flowers because we don't have anything between the ground and the fence. So we're going to pretend we have flowers right here, and we're going to make a line across. And then we're going to curve up to the fence, down to the ground, and come up just a little. And then the last letter is the lowercase letter L. We're going to start in the sky and go straight down to the ground. And that is it. That is how you write the word angel. Good job, guys. Okay, now it's time for activity number 1. Let me read the directions. When the women arrived at the tomb, the angel asked them why they were looking for someone who was alive in a place that was for people who were dead. Look at the pictures below. Some of the items are living things and some are not living things. Circle the items that are living things. Okay, so we have to look and see what is alive down here. For something to be alive, it needs to grow. So if it grows and it breathes and it can die, then it is alive. So let's look and see what we've got. First of all, we have a coffee cup. Can a coffee cup grow? Can a coffee cup die? No, it cannot. So that is not alive. Okay, next we have a bird. Can a bird grow? Can a bird breathe? Can a bird eat? Can a bird die? It can do all of those things. So a bird is alive. Okay, what about a bicycle? Can a bicycle grow or breathe or eat or die? No, it can't do any of those things. A bicycle is not alive. Okay, what about a baby? Can a baby grow and eat and die? They can do all of those things. So babies are alive. Those are living things. Okay, what about flowers? Can flowers grow? Can flowers eat? That's a tricky question. Flowers can eat, but they eat through their roots in the soil. So they do a different kind of eating than what we do. And they can grow and they can die. So they are alive. They are just different than a lot of other things that are alive. Okay, what about cookies? Can cookies grow? Can cookies breathe? Can they die? Cookies are not alive. They can't do those things. Okay, what about a fish? Can a fish grow? Can a fish breathe? A fish can breathe. God made fish so that they can breathe through their gills and they can get the air out of the water. It's very special the way that they can breathe. They don't do the same way that we do, but they can breathe. And can fish die? They can. So fish are alive. Those are living things. Okay, what about a pillow? Can a pillow grow? Can a pillow eat? Can a pillow die? Nope. So a pillow is not alive. Only the fish and the baby and the flower and I call this one a fish. Only the bird and the baby and the flower and the fish. Those are the only things that we have that are alive. Good job, guys. Now it's time for our second letter of the day. Our second letter is the letter O. O is a vowel, so it makes two sounds. It makes the sound O for oh no, and it makes the sound ah for octopus. So we have O and ah. Okay, we're going to practice writing our O's. O's, look, this is the capital O and this is the lowercase o. They are exactly the same except one goes to the sky and one goes to the fence. So we're going to come down here and we're going to practice. It's just a circle. So we're going to make a circle that touches the sky and touches the ground. And that's our capital O. And then we're going to make another circle that touches the fence and touches the ground. And that's our lowercase o. Okay, we're going to come over here and we're going to practice our O's without the fence picture. Touch the sky, touch the ground. Let's do another one. Touch the sky, touch the ground. Okay, let's do some lowercase O's. Circle under the fence, touch the ground. That's it. Let's do another one. Touch the fence, touch the ground. And that is it. Our extra practice word today with the letter O is the word oil. The ladies brought perfumes and oils to put on Jesus' body. That's what they used to do when someone would die. The word oil starts with the letter O. So we are going to make a lowercase o under the fence. O. Okay, the next letter is the letter I. We're going to do a lowercase I. We're going to start at the fence, down to the ground, and then a dot in the clouds. The next letter is the lowercase letter L. We're going to start in the sky, go down to the ground, and touch the ground. Okay, the last letter is the lowercase letter S. We're going to make a snake under the fence. We're going to start a little bit under the fence, go up and touch the fence, curve around, touch the ground, come back up. And that is how you spell oils. Good job. Okay, now it's time for activity number 2. Let me read the directions. When Peter ran into the tomb, he found the cloths that had been wrapped around Jesus. They were still in the shape of a man. Look at the pictures below and see if you can match the items with their shapes on the other side. Okay, first of all, we have a turkey. Let's look over here and see which one of those looks like it might be a turkey shape. Let's see, is this one a turkey shape? I don't think so. What about this one? No. What about this one? Could that one be the same as that? I think it is. We have a match. We're going to draw a line from the turkey to its shape. Okay, next we have a bed. Let's see, could this be a bed shape? Could this be a bed shape? Could this be a bed shape? This one is our bed. We'll draw a line from one bed to the other bed. Okay, now we have a cupcake. Which one of these that is left could be a cupcake shape? I think it's this one. Draw a line from the cupcake to the cupcake shape. That's hard to say. Okay, and last we have a frog. Which one of these over here is the frog? It's gotta be the one on the top. There we go, that is our frog shape. Okay, now let's look at our verse. He is not here, for he has risen. Matthew 28:6. Jesus was not in the tomb anymore because he was alive. He had risen from the dead. That is the best news ever. This is our verse from the real Bible. Okay, in this verse, we're going to look for the letter E. We have our capital E and our lowercase e. Okay, let's see what we can find. He. I see an E in this word. Do you see an E? Right here. He is not here. Oh, I think we have some E's right here. Right here and here, we have some E's. 1, 2. He is not here for he. We have another E. Right here. He is not here for he has risen. We have an E in risen. Can you find it? This one. He is not here for he has risen. Matthew. Let's check Matthew very carefully. I believe we might find it. There it is right here. He is not here for he has risen. Matthew 28:6. Good job, guys. Now it's time for our last letter of the day. Our last letter is the letter Z. Z makes the sound zebra and zoo and zipper. Z is a fun sound to make. This is our capital Z and this is our lowercase z. They're exactly the same. One is just big and one is little. All right, let's practice our Z's. For the first one, we're going to start in the sky and go over. And then we're going to slant down to the ground. And then we're going to go over again. And that's it. That's how you make your capital Z. Now let's make a lowercase z. It's just the same, but we're going to start on the fence. Start on the fence and go over, slant down, over. There you go. Let's come over here and practice our Z's. We're going to start in the sky and go over, slant down, over. Let's do another one. Go to the sky, over, slant down, over. Okay, now let's practice our lowercase z's. These are going to start at the fence. Over, slant down, over. One more. Over, slant down, over. Okay, now it's time for our extra practice word of the day. Our extra practice word for the letter Z is the name Zebedee. Zebedee was in our story today. One of the ladies that was with Mary when she went to the tomb was the wife of Zebedee. Zebedee's wife was with Mary, and Zebedee's sons were Jesus' disciples, James and John. So Zebedee is mentioned several times in the Bible because he has a lot of very important people in his family. So we're going to write Zebedee because it's a name. We have to start with the capital. We're going to start in the sky and go over, and then we're going to slant to the ground and go over. Okay, the next letter in the word Zebedee is a lowercase e. So to do a lowercase e, we have to imagine our flowers. Okay, we're going to imagine between the ground and the fence, we're going to imagine those flowers. We're going to do a line over, curve up to the fence, down to the ground, and back up. The next letter is the lowercase v. We're going to start at the sky, go down to the ground, and then we're going to make a circle that touches that stick we made under the fence. The next letter is another lowercase e, so we're going to imagine those flowers again. We're going to go over, curve up to the fence, down to the ground, and come up just a little. The next letter is a lowercase letter d. The lowercase letter d looks a lot like the B, but it's flipped over. Instead of doing the stick first, we're going to do the circle first. So we're going to do a circle under the fence, and then we make the stick that goes from the sky to the ground. The next letter in Zebedee is another E. So we get to practice another E. Remember your flowers. Go over, curve up to the fence, down to the ground, come up just a little. And the last letter in the name Zebedee is another little E. So we get to do two in a row. So imagine your flowers and go over, curve up to the fence, down to the ground, and up just a little. And that is how you spell Zebedee. Good job, guys.
Our word of the day is alive. What does alive mean? Alive means living or not dead. Jesus is alive. He is living. He is not dead. Now it's time for our Guess Who game. I'm going to read the clues and see if you can figure out who it is. I went to the tomb to put spices on Jesus' body. The angel told me to go tell the disciples Jesus had risen. I saw Jesus on the way to find the disciples. The disciples did not believe me that I had seen Jesus. Who am I? Who did these things? It was Mary. If you guessed Mary, you were being a great listener.
Okay, now it's time to draw. What are we going to draw today? An angel showed up and rolled the stone away. In the space below, draw an angel. Oh, goodness, I don't know how to draw an angel. Let's see. We'll draw a person with a face. We'll draw a person with a head anyway. And then we'll do, well, they kind of wore like dresses then, so we'll do like a dress. Let's see, like that. Okay, and we'll put his arms, we'll put those like they're going behind his back because that's easier than trying to draw some hands. Okay, now on our angel, we'll give him a face. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, now we need some wings on our angel. There we go. Let's do some more wings over here. We'll draw him some feet. There we go. And we'll give him some hair. Let's see, what kind of hair is he going to have? We'll give him some spiky hair. That kind of looks like a king's crown. There we go. That's my angel. What do you think? Is that a good angel? I don't know if it's a good angel or not, but it sure was fun to draw.
Well, we're almost finished with today's lesson. Let's see, what did we talk about today? We talked about living things. We talked about the shapes of things. We talked about the letters A, O, and Z, and we drew some angels. In our story today, we talked about something very, very exciting. Jesus is risen. We read so many sad stories. We listened to all of the horrible things that they did to Jesus, and lots of those stories were hard to hear. But this story was a great story. Jesus was risen from the dead. Jesus knew that he was going to come back. He knew. He told people 3 days. They will bury me and I will rise again in 3 days. And that's exactly what he did. Jesus did that because he is God. He tried to tell the people all along that he was the Son of God. Some of them listened, some of them did not. And that's the way it is today. Some people believe that he is the Son of God and some people do not. But the truth is, he is the Son of God. He did die on the cross to pay for our sins, and he did rise again 3 days later. Until next time, Jolly loves you.